So I'm going to utilise this opportunity to go through a routine for low back pain patients, something that should be comfortable for you guys to do, how to exercise comfortably and actually improve on the current situation and problem without actually having to sustain any damage. So everything we're going to look at is in relatively neutral positions. It's all going to be relatively easy movements, and it's more about getting the spine and the muscles moving as opposed to actually doing any great intensive routines. Cool, let's get started. So first thing we really want to do is just make sure that we're quite warm. Obviously this routine is probably more for kind of like a mid-range problem, probably not an acute problem. So say for example, if we've got like a really acute hot disc and we're getting like searing pain and sciatica, then this is more of one of those situations where you're going to need to consult a practitioner. But if this is just like moderate low back pain, just more like a stiffness first thing in the morning, etc., this kind of a routine is going to be really good for you. So essentially what we want to do is we want to start by warming up. So I'm going to use a skipping rope, but we could do anything from utilizing a skipping rope all the way up to doing some star jumps or running on the spot or heel flicks or whatever. Okay, so we're just going to start by warming up, and then we're just going to go through a series of about 5 or 6 different exercises that you can do that really help to strengthen up the lower back and keep the joints in the lower back moving. And then yeah, so if you guys have got any questions, you can obviously comment below. So first of all, what we're going to do, we're just going to go through some movements, really just going to help to loosen up. I'm going to call this one a hip hinge. For every inch the chest goes forward, the hips must come back an inch. So it's like a seesaw, all right? So essentially what we're going to do, start from the top, hips go back, hands go forward. Amazing. So now we're going to go into more of a thoracic and hip opening exercise. Thoracic's really important for keeping the upper part of the back moving properly, and actually we're also going to get a little bit of movement into the lower back. I'm going to show this both front and side on. Beautiful. So again, with this one, we want to really open up the hips, really long stretch, but also that big opening up through the chest. Really looking for holding for about 5 breaths with each one of those. Amazing, absolutely amazing stretch. Feels so good afterwards. We're just going to jump into opening up at the hip flexors now. So it's going to be, again, it's going to be really concentrating in front of those hips. You should have just felt that in the last one. We're going to really just go into those and open those up again. Beautiful. again, really wanting to open up into those hips. A lot of us spend, probably even more so than ever now, spending a lot of time on our sofas and sitting down. This is really going to help open up those hips, really help engage the lower back muscles. When the hips are too tight, you can really disengage the abs from working properly. So what we're going to have a look at now is actually getting ourselves to stand a little bit more upright. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into engaging the core a little bit for a couple of minutes. Then we're going to finish up. Really simple. You just need to fix a piece of elastic down to anything that's solid that isn't going to basically move away. All we're going to do is just position ourselves comfortably on this one. I'm going to try and show it both from the back and from the sides. Just starting to get a bit of a killer burn in the upper part of the back. You'll see I added a few different variations in there, both feet next to each other, then one foot in front of the other. We also showed it with a head perturbation, which is taking the head from side to side. We're keeping eyes locked on a target, but we're turning the head from side to side, really forcing operation of the vestibular system and the ocular system, which is our ears and our eyes, which there are 3 parts of balance. I'm going to discuss this in videos upcoming, but there are 3 elements to balance: proprioception from the spine, vision from the eyes, and then the feedback from the inner part of our ears. So actually we want to utilize these parts of the systems during our rehabilitation as well. I'm going to see if I can just catch that one from the side as well. What we're going to basically look at next is something called a Pallof press. Again, really good exercise for engaging your core. This is one that, if you struggle with the plank, is a really good way for you to actually get your transversus working properly, which is the one that basically works like a corset and defends our spine. So this one's actually a really nice one for getting that firing up. So what we're going to do, again, I'm going to look at it both sides. You do actually want to do this one on both sides, not just one. Again, with this one, as soon as you actually poke the band out in front of you, if there's enough resistance on the band, you should feel your abdomen fire in pretty much straight away. Again, all of these ones, it's within your own level of endurance. So I did 3 10-second holds with like a 2-second break in between. You can do 5-second holds and do 10. You just mix it up as in how you want. You could even just do a 1-minute hold and just do it all in one go. All right, so it completely depends on how you want to do it. It's possibly one of my favorite exercises, just purely because of the functionality of it, and it is the plank. Do you want 90% of back problems could probably be resolved by taking a little bit more exercise, and one of the main ones that people could really do with engaging more is the core. Now, a lot of us only think about doing loads of sit-ups, and this is a problem because it only really fires up something called the rectus abdominis, and actually it's the transversus fibers and the oblique fibers that we actually really need the most for defending our spine, especially during rotation and lifting motions. So this one actually really gets you to engage that core. Really simple. There are variations of it, or different variations. I'm just going to go through a few different variations of like a plank or a basic core based movement that you can use that still keeps your core engaged but doesn't actually affect or damage your spine. really good ways of engaging the core without any rotationary twists or sit-ups or sit-downs. Again, keeping the spine in a really neutral position really helps to actually defend and protect that spine and actually build that transversus abdominis, so that the spine is actually protected as opposed to just constantly hinging it all the time and actually slowly wearing those joints out. Hope you guys find this information helpful.